So, what you're telling me is that after all the horrific things that these women, Kim Kardashian, and the Democratic Party have done to my platform, that it's all just going to go away one day and all of America is going to support an Armenian, a Persian, and any other Arab citizen of another country that's a migrant in the country. All of America is going to just turn a blind eye on the fact that Kim Kardashian and her sisters have violated the entire country, including children, specifically speaking to me, while everybody partied up on and danced on the pain of, well, let's just say me. And you're going to tell me that what Whoopi Goldberg has done to me, you're just going to all stand there and you're going to applaud her. Because there's people in the audience that show up to her show. There's people that stand in front of the Elon Musk dealerships that have stood in front of my face and violated my civil rights while they proclaim themselves to be the victim of some facade, bull crap, unrealistic existence because they want to get paid by Kim Kardashian and Soros. And those people are just going to get away with it. So you're going to tell me that all the content that I produced, after all the things that you all have instructed on with building brand, building image, having videos that are supposed to be able to be seen by all, having posted on E! Entertainment on a regular basis, on Jesse Waters, on Donald Trump, emailed the FBI, and the list goes on and on of the amount of supposedly famous people who have connections to all the shows that I've spoken of and more, that you're just going to turn a blind eye because your career is more important than the children that you have. That's what you're telling me. Because that's what it looks like to Mona Van, which is why she continuously produces the content that she produces. Because she knows she's doing wrong, and yet she's continuing to produce content, continuously producing content where her and her bestie, Erica Saunders 21, and Heather LaMusa stand in front of her and act as if they're best friends. And you're going to tell me that that is acceptable as those of you who are living in Nebraska and North Carolina, who honestly, you have no interest in being famous. You don't have interest in being famous. No, some of you who think you want to be famous never wanted to be famous. And we got a hefty dose of what actually goes on in the movie industry by watching women do Fit Check. We are watching Mona Van as the example of what women in Hollywood and LA do so that they can become famous and rich. And it should make you sick to your stomach, because I would assume that most of you who married the man of your dreams, which is why in the old days you did a subtle picture of you and your potential spouse while you were dating, not bragging about your diamond fucking ring and how big it is, where every time I fucking turn around, you're doing a propaganda fucking video to show off how rich your fiance is. See, in America, we don't do that shit. Only influencers with shallow LA lifestyles, they do that shit. And then all of you who wanted to be noticed started doing that shit too. And it all made all of us really sick to our stomachs. However, it then flooded the internet. But you may or may not have already been married to somebody, but now you probably will get divorced. So you're going to tell me that we're all supposed to just accept how things are with people like Heather L. Musa and Mona Van and Kim Kardashian bragging about their dating life, while you men participate in the disgusting, disgraceful nonsense to disrespect your fan base. And you just think we're all going to sit back and allow this shit to continue to happen. You're going to disrespect our children. You're going to use your children as weapons against audiences. Understand how a person would use children against audiences in the form of what Kim Kardashian has done, utilizing North, utilizing Penelope, utilizing Mason, utilizing Rain, utilizing all the children of the Kardashian family. How would the women of the Kardashians use children as a weapon against audiences? How would they use them as shields? Why would an old ass woman like Paris Hilton go to Coachella? And in one breath, she's telling everyone how she's an NFT, wants to create a fantasy world of Paris Hilton, of an NFT metaverse off of Mark Zuckerberg. And in the next video, she's showing herself in a provocative, seductive pose. And in the next photograph, she's on a red carpet. And then in the next photo, she's at home in a dress with 2 innocent children. And then the next video, she's cuddling a child awkwardly and strangely on a vacation in Hawaii. This is supposed to be her job. Telling all of you that you too can be successful women because she's giving away $25,000 with no education. To where she then is invited to the U.S. Capitol by the Democratic Party to disrespect the American people. And nobody seems to notice that this is happening, which is very strange and very disgusting. Now I'm talking about the audience. Then we have people on the streets supporting Paris Hilton by being anti-Elon. Those of you who speak out against TRUMP, you are actually for Kim Kardashian and Paris Hilton. Because they showed up at the White House to teach Harris how to be a president. Understand what I just said, and you'll understand what kind of leadership you get with the Democratic Party and who's riding in the streets. Kim Kardashian also instructed all of you with Dylan Mulvaney on your biology. So you're all mentally ill because you all support Kim Kardashian. You all show your private parts off because no one tells Kim Kardashian, a 40-something-year-old old-ass woman, an old-ass woman that wearing a bikini like that and behaving like that, she doesn't know in her head that it's inappropriate. It's disgusting to do that shit. Now, what she's done is masterbating, while she's raping in your family, including your children. Now, the government should regulate this, and so should Mark Zuckerberg. However, it's so rampant all over Instagram that it's impossible to get a word in edgewise, which means that your content's never going to be seen, it's never going to be discussed, and you'll never have real conversations ever again, including with the people that you want to date. Now, we're too busy watching all of you make out on camera, so why would anyone want to touch Gary Vee after all the touching that he's done with Mona Van? Think about that for a second, Gary Vaynerchuk. Think about what that would be like for someone to touch you after you've been touching all over that nasty fucking whore. Why would anyone want to touch you after you've touched that shit? And that goes for any of you who've ever been married to and have children with Tarek. You might want to think about that for a second before you start jumping into bed with these nasty pieces of gross-ass garbage pieces of shit. And Kim Kardashian, take a look at who you used to be married to how many times? None of them wanted to be with you from the very beginning, yet you convinced them through your snake tongue that you were, what, annoying as hell? I guess that's just the business for you, ain't it, badass? So while none of you are able to communicate your feelings appropriately because you're mentally fucking ill, you better fucking believe that this content will eventually be seen by those that actually matter. And if I have to go all the way across the end of this globe to find one person to take my shit and make this shit go viral, such as Snowden, who's in RUSSIA, I will make this shit fucking happen. I'm still waiting, Gary Vee. I'm still sitting here watching you go on dates with your fucking fiance. Now I'm still watching it. I mean, did you not take a look at yourself all in white? Another bullshit nonsense of garbage ass evening event where you fuck all of me over. Oh, you mean fuck all of Kim Kardashian over. Not really sure what went down in the corrupt Flyfish Club, which is the most grossest fucking thing I've ever seen in my fucking life. Have you seen the decor? Have you seen all of it? Have you seen the French fries? See, my goal is to close that shit down, expose all of the members at the club, and put your asses in fucking prison. And that's the reality of what's actually happening versus the delusion of Mona Van standing there with a weird fucking face in that fur coat that looks like fucking shit. Like literally shit on her back. And there she goes again, smiling and saying, look at me and Gary Vee together. Flutter, flutter,